While I'm on this trip, I wanted to give you guys some commentary on a thought that's been on my mind for a while. It has to do with fear. Fear is something that we all have to deal with as people, no matter where you come from, what you experience in life. We all have something we're afraid of. Fear doesn't always scream or try to make itself known. Sometimes, it dresses itself up like logic. It tries to make sense of itself. Says things like be smart, play it safe, wait until you're ready. But let me tell you something about fear. It is the greatest enemy and mirror that you'll ever have to face in this world. A few years ago, whenever I first started out in medicine, we had a trauma come down. It was my very first one. Guy got shot in the right side of his temple, fractured skull, and I was a fresh 19-year-old CST trying to control my breathing, my thoughts, my movements, losing my mind, trying to make sense of this situation. As everyone else around me was reacting frantically just like me, but in their own flustered ways. All I could remember was bright headlights, the air smelling like metal, a bunch of monitors going off screaming, gloves snapping, an echo over all this chaos screaming, we're losing them. And that was probably the first time in my life I realized fear isn't loud. It's a very silent killer. It feeds and it bottles itself up inside, waiting to pop off and to initiate that flight or fight response. It hides in your hands when they start to tremble and shake. My mind went blank for a half a second whenever somebody screamed that I don't even know who did in the moment. And all my training just went out the window, vanished. Only thing left was just noise and pressure. And a voice feeling cut through the static to me and just told me to move. Just move. And it wasn't the surgeon, it was my own voice inside. That moment showed me that fear doesn't disappear with experience. It obeys the one who acts against it despite what it tells you. And if a man doesn't learn how to not only overcome it, but also use it to his advantage, then he'll spend the rest of his life pretending that he's protecting himself, when in reality, he's just hiding. Most people fall in what they want to do because fear makes them hesitate. Those split seconds of inner regret are the moments of psychological failure being imprinted on your mind and your soul. In the tiny, quiet moments, it's hard to see it in that moment, but it's an opportunity like that can help you change the pattern of fear that you have within your system. Before you can use fear to your advantage, you have to walk through the fire and expose your fear. Get rid of the hold it has over you. Overcoming your fears starts with you being honest with yourself and owning the fact that you're afraid of something, you're afraid of whatever it is. We're taught to suck it up and keep moving forward, but that only gives your fear the advantage over you subconsciously. And deep down, we know that. We're just, feel like we're not good enough to actually confront it. But I would say be honest with yourself and really ask yourself, what are you truly afraid of? What is it? Failure? Is it embarrassment, rejection, judgment, change? These are questions you got to ask yourself to expose these fears, put it in the limelight so you're aware of what you want to change. And then ask yourself, why are you even afraid of this? When did this start? And if you did what you wanted to do, if whatever you're afraid of was to happen, what would the consequences be? Get a better understanding of the root of your fears so you can understand and become self-aware of who you are really internally. Understand that fear is not real. I say fear, if I use it as an acronym, it would be fake enemies appearing real. That's what I would call fear. These are just thoughts that your brain cultivated as survival instincts to control the narrative. Most of our fears are about what might happen, not what has happened already or what is happening. These are things that we're making up. Understand that your fear you have inside of you is a story you told yourself too many times when in reality, it doesn't even exist. Don't try to destroy the fear. Just do the next thing that you control right now to get past that fearful thought and feeling. You're afraid to start a business. Your fear tells you the idea isn't useful. You're not capable to handle that pressure. Don't argue with it, Think about this before you accept that thought as reality. You're not weak for feeling it. You're awake. You're actually coming to terms and seeing on what you really want. You can see the risk. You can feel the weight of responsibility. And you're aware that if you start something, you'll have to become more. Understand where that fear is coming from. You're afraid to fail, of not being good enough, of losing money, of the idea of success and the business actually working out. Sometimes we're afraid of success because we feel like we're not capable of succeeding. Do the next best and easiest thing you can. Run a small test. See what product or idea you want to sell or create and test to see how the world reacts to it. People tend to believe they need to wait for the feeling of confidence to come, but we all know that won't happen. It never does. Confidence is built by actions, by doing, trying, and seeing if your fear was real or just an illusion of doubt. And through your actions, you can change your viewpoint of fear itself. See fear as a challenge. Your mind seeing if you can be strong enough through this adversity of not only others outside of this world eventually, but also within yourself. Because, they say you are your greatest enemy or your greatest partner. Being you is something you gotta come to terms with as well. See fear as you making progress, as an opportunity to grow in whatever you're afraid of. Fear means you're getting closer to something real and you believe is possible. And the only way you'll believe is possible is through faith. The most fearless men are the most faithful. Faith is trusting yourself and believing that you are better than what negative thoughts you have in that moment or ever. We as human beings are very powerful. We are the smartest and most adaptable creatures on this planet. And we can change our entire identity by just having trust in ourselves to get the job done.
Yeah, there's some people over there about to jump off. Yeah, that's deep. No, not there, but like where them other ones are. Yeah. Nah. No, the fuck you didn't.